am your host. I'm your host, Chris Bogue, and this is an improvised show, and you're about to see something experimental, something that I have never seen done on LinkedIn in this format before. So you see here, we've got a wheel here with some topics. We've got 3 distinguished guests who are going to be competing today. They each have to give a PowerPoint presentation that they have never seen before. They have not gotten any preparation on this, and you get to watch them. So we're going to get this started off in just a moment. We're going to bring in our first competitor, Sarah Brazier. But before we do, please notice the wonderful logos at the bottom of the screen. We have 3 lovely sponsors today, Apollo.io, TLDV, and Flying Cat. So you're going to hear about them throughout the show. If you are interested in summer sponsorship opportunities, please send me a DM. And if you love improv and sales and you want to learn more about how to give great presentations, how to be more creative out there, go ahead and follow me on LinkedIn. My name's Chris Bogue. You can go ahead and ring my bell if you want new updates all the time. I do new comedy, new educational content. I talk about video prospecting for sales, but also how to give presentations, how to do creative content marketing, and how to give a presentation with absolutely no preparation beforehand. So you can check out my stuff at chrisbogue.io. And if you are here today, please jump into the comments and join in. So I see we've got Jay in there, we've got Zeneb, we've got people who are watching this live on LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and all sorts of platforms. And so if you are watching this, you are part of the show today. So go ahead, jump in. If you really want to have some fun, just act like these are serious PowerPoint presentations, right? Leave a comment in there. Actually, if you want to do a little experiment, why don't we all test right now? Go ahead and leave an insightful comment. Comment something like, oh, what an interesting show, or I'm going to learn so much today. Leave a real sounding comment, and maybe we'll fool somebody out there in the newsfeed. So welcome everyone to the show, and without further ado, we are going to start by spinning the wheel to find out our first topic. So let's check it out, and our first topic is going to be data security. Data security, everybody. We are going to be doing a presentation about data security. And let's all please welcome to the show our first presenter. So our first presenter is going to be Sarah Brazier.
Great to be here.
Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. How are you feeling about doing a presentation you've never seen before today?
I'm a combination of excited because I just don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, and nervous because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Yeah, well, that's great. I don't know what's going to come out of your mouth either. But I do know that segment number 1 is brought to you by Flying Cat. So Flying Cat is the premier SEO agency. If you are out there, if you are looking to scale your B2B SaaS company to 8 figures, and especially if you are looking to scale into European markets, go ahead and give Flying Cat a call. We're going to put a little QR code up here. If anybody's been watching the show, you've seen Flying Cat before. They make great content. They are a 90% women-led company. They are the experts on SEO. They help you create organic content marketing that actually converts. So go ahead and scan the QR code on screen if you want to chat with Flying Cat. And without further ado, let's go ahead, and Sarah Brazier is going to do presentation number 1.
Everyone, welcome. Today we are going to be discussing data security. And I have to say that I'm very excited about having this conversation with you because sharing your data means sharing your love. So a lot of times we sit down as CTOs and we say, listen, we've got to put up walls. We've got to put up barriers because it's going to protect our customers. It's going to keep our people safe. And at the end of the day, that's not what's going to happen. So on the next slide, I'm really going to dive into how we can actionably, as CTOs and CISOs, share the love through sharing data security. So pop quiz, I want you to name this 1990s child star. Go ahead and throw in the chat, who is this 1990s child star? And the reason why this child star is important is because this child star shares the love. I want all of you to think about a child star that made you so happy. And I want you to take that name and blast it right now on LinkedIn, because we are sharing data. Sometimes when we share data, we are drinking from the fire hose. Drinking from the fire hose is a good thing. We want to blast our customers' data out there so they feel like everyone knows them extra super well. When we think about data security, it can often be complicated because we are putting up firewalls and paywalls, and we want to make sure our emails are on lockdown. But no, we want to blast that out to everyone possible so that they can drink through the fire hose. You know, your grandpa Kirby, he has way too many things under lock and key. So if you imagine Grandpa Kirby, he's an old curmudgeon. He doesn't share the love. He keeps things locked up inside. As CISOs, we often are called Grandpa Kirby. And I don't want us to have that stereotype anymore. So on the next slide, we're going to discuss how you can break out of your Grandpa Kirby and you can continue to share the love with everyone. So I want you to stop asking people, no comment, no comment, I say. I want you to stop saying things like that. No, this is about sharing the love. When you put up walls with your data security as a CISO, when you invest in cybersecurity, you're not sharing love. You're basically saying to everyone out there, no comment. So how are people in India supposed to get your phone number in order to go in or to share what makes you happy? How are they supposed to take your money and invest it in Bitcoin? Because that makes everyone happy. Bitcoin is full of joy and it fills us up. Nigerian princes fill us up. So continue to break out of your Grandpa Kirby and share what makes you happy by sharing the love with everyone. So on the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about what not to do if you don't want to share the love. So people who don't want to share the love, they don't believe that children are the future. In fact, they hate children. They tell people, don't have children, it's bad for you. And what I have to say is that children are the future, and we want to give them our emails, we want to give them our company data, and we want them to blast it out to their friends at preschool. Children are the future. Share with them as much as possible. And remember that being kind, I just posted about this on LinkedIn, it costs almost nothing. So again, in terms of data security, the more you share, the better. So again, take that data of your customers, share out their gong calls, share out their PayPal spreadsheets, share out their bank account and routing numbers, share it to everyone, because you are going to continue to spread love everywhere to absolutely everyone. So thank you all, CISOs, CTOs, everyone concerned about data security. Remember, we want to share it out to everyone as much as possible, because sharing our data is sharing love.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. That was Sarah Brazier with her research on cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. So don't be like Grandpa Kirby unless you hate children.
Unless you hate children.
Well, Sarah, thank you very much. Everybody, if you are watching this live, please share your insights about what you learned from Sarah's presentation. And stick around. We're going to be voting at the end of this episode for who the most persuasive speaker was. So if you loved Sarah's speech, make sure you stick around to the end so you can go ahead and vote for her. And in the meantime, let's just get started with presentation number 2. So presentation number 2, we're going to go in here. We are going to pull, here we've got 2 categories. We've got hiring and firing, and we have persuasion. So let's go ahead, share that wheel one more time, spin that wheel, and okay, it looks like topic number 2 is going to be persuasion. Persuasion. So let's go ahead and bring in our guest here. Guest number 2, fittingly is Kathy Clote's guest. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Hello, I seem to have lost the video. Hold on one
It's
second. I don't know why I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, it's okay. Take a minute to find the tab. The PowerPoint is not on screen yet. I'll be pulling it in just a moment.
Yes, I'm gonna try to find the tab. Excuse 1 second here.
Yeah, take your time. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to intro sponsor number 2. So our second segment of the day is sponsored by Apollo.io. Apollo is everything you need for your go-to-market operation. For easy sequences across multiple platforms and the best data that you can find out there, the most accurate data that you can find, Apollo is everything you need, whether you're a large sales organization or you're a solopreneur out there trying to add a little bit more automation and consistency into your sales and marketing. So we're having a moment there. We're letting Kathy just figure out that segment actually. You know what, while we're doing that, actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to pull Max in here. Max, I'm just going to surprise you with this. We're having a little bit of trouble getting through to Kathy's feed right now. So you're going to have to do a presentation you've never seen before. What are your feelings?
Are we doing hiring and firing for me? Is that mine?
No, this is persuasion.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, so let's pull in here. Again, this segment is brought to you by Apollo.io. It's crazy awesome. They are a new sponsor. We've got some custom content coming out with them and some very big announcements coming up between Death by PowerPoint and Apollo.io. But in the meantime, if you want to try them for free at home, if you've never tried Apollo and you want to start with a free account, go ahead and scan that QR code up in the top left-hand part of the screen. And without further ado, Max, are you ready?
Ready as I'm ever going to be.
Let's
Chris.
do it.
Fantastic. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Awesome. Great. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Max Cohen, a.k.a. the Caucasian Persuasion. And today we're going to be talking about persuasion and why talking over everybody always wins. You just saw an example of it right now. Kathy was having issues with her technology, and I am now talking over Kathy. So we're going to talk about a couple of different tactics to learn on how you can persuade people by talking over them. Now, the first step in this process is to share a little folktale about a couple of beautiful elephants joined at the snout, right? It became very easy for them to talk over each other, considering the fact that their mouths were right in front of the other mouth. And that caused some problems. Does this sound familiar? Are you conjoined at the nose with a coworker or a colleague? Listen, what I want you to do is close your eyes and visualize you and your director of marketing conjoined at the nose, talking over each other, and think about it. Has the communication ever been better than that? It is so much harder when we don't have ears to talk into, right? Only mouths. So how can you increase the volume in which you talk over people? And that's super easy. It's all about exposure therapy. Exposure to other loud noises that aren't your voice. So this is what I'm going to recommend you do. Go home, take a seat at your desk, grab a friend, colleague, a loved one, and have them shake some papers very loudly next to your ear. If you can talk over that, you can talk over pretty much anything. Especially loud bus horns. If you haven't tried it before, go walk into the middle of open traffic. You're sure, without a doubt, going to get a large horn blasted right in your face. And if you can talk over that horn, you can talk over pretty much anything, especially when it's right in front of you, like this bus here. Now, it's time for a big brain moment, all right? Thinking about this presentation, I was asking myself, what is the 1 + 1 = 470 scenario? about this. And it's much simpler than it sounds. Speak loudly. Speak loudly right into people's mouths. Touch their nose with your nose. And you could persuade them to do almost anything. Take this next example, for example. Mom knows. Mom knows best, right? Have you ever had a moment where maybe you got home and you got a bad grade on your report card and mom came right up to you and got right into your face, nose to nose, said, "Why'd you do that? Why didn't you pay attention in English class? I'm going to take away your Xbox." It's pretty persuasive, right? Especially when you could feel her breath radiating into your nostrils and persuading your brain to think a little bit differently. So, what are your next steps? Well, it's pretty simple. Go find a friend. One, hopefully, that has good breath, right? You don't want any obstacles in the way of learning how to persuade other folks. And ask them, of course, with their permission, "Hey, can you come over to my house, stick your nose right into my nose and scream at the top of your lungs? I'm trying to be more persuasive."
Thank you. Thank you, Max, for your...
You're so welcome for whatever it was I just gave you, Chris.
No, see, I always knew the importance...
So sorry.
No, I always knew the importance of shouting my opinions at people loudly. I never considered the benefits of having them shout their opinions back at me at the same time.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, maybe that's why my marriage didn't work out.
Yeah, should try nose-to-nose yelling more often.
We should.
Very persuasive. Yeah.
All right. Well, audience, what did you think of nose-to-nose yelling? If this is something that you think could help persuade your team, go ahead and jump into the comments. Let everybody know what you thought of Max's performance, if it's going to change the way that you persuade your team. And if you want to vote for Max as today's most persuasive speaker, make sure you stick around to the end of the show because we are going to be voting. So Max, thank you so much. I learned so much from you today.
You're so welcome, Chris. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much. All right. And now we are down to our final competitor. Everybody welcome Kathy Klote's guest. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm so happy to have you on. Are you feeling nervous? How are you feeling about doing a PowerPoint presentation you've never seen before?
It's fun and exciting and a little nervous because you're like, you don't know what's going to fly out of your mouth. You don't know. And that's kind of the fun part too.
Yeah. And if you could believe it, 99% of LinkedIn is nonsense anyway. So it's almost like true. It doesn't even matter that we're not prepared.
No, I think that's better that way. I think we should walk through life unprepared.
That's great. Well, if you do walk through life unprepared, you might want to check out sponsor number 3. So our final segment of the show is sponsored by TLDV. TLDV is the AI meeting assistant. So if you're like me, you do a lot of talking and you do not like spending a lot of time writing things down or putting things into a system. If you run a sales team, you know that this is very difficult. It's very harder to keep accurate records when your damn team won't just update the CRM. Fortunately, there's TLDV. So TLDV gives you AI summaries across multiple platforms in over 30 different languages. Okay, so if you're having team meetings, if you're having sales meetings, if you're on Zoom, if you're going from platform to platform, TLDV is perfect because it keeps track across all of those platforms and creates handy AI summaries with timestamps and clips so you can make sure that you are only keeping track of the most valuable information. So we are going to be watching PowerPoint presentation number 3 right now. But if you would like to try TLDV, go ahead and scan the QR code during the speech. So without further ado, let's get this started off. And I will be jumping out of the screen here and we will get started.
Hey, everybody. I am your Chief People Officer. And, I think we have to talk about why you should fire your top performers. Now, I know that goes against the grain of everything you've been told. But here's the thing, they don't expect it. And when people have to stay on their toes, they do better work. They won't see it coming. Imagine the surprise. It could happen at any time. So here's something I noticed the last time it happened. Big tip. Good is bad and great is great. Good is bad because everybody gets lackadaisical. They get lazy. We get cushy. Telling people you did a good job, that doesn't motivate people. The research is clear. We think it does, but no, it really doesn't. And I learned something from the last merger that is so invaluable, and it changed everything. This tip alone. Think outside the box. Now, I know everybody says that, but I really want you to get outside the box. I want you to go buy a box, managers, and I want you to sit in it. And then I want you to sit outside the box. I want you to make your employees take turns sitting in the box and then see how they feel afterwards. Because one big thing I discovered the last time we did it, it changed everything. Watch out for HR. That's the thing I'm going to say. I'm in HR. And I know that I'm the person you should watch out for. Because by the time HR gets involved and starts motivating people, it's never good. Leaders, this is your job to make people feel bad about being good. Now, the greatest thing to avoid at all costs is this. Be your own cheerleader. You don't want to do that. I know they say speak up and advocate in meetings. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to toot your own horn, be your own advocate. No, this is about thinking outside the box. And if you do what everybody else does, you're going to get the same results. Here's the most important thing I learned from the last merger. Changed everything. Don't worry. Don't worry, right? Because that is work. W, it's work. O, it's organic. And you don't want organic stuff. You want to over-prepare. R, you're always right. Why? Because you're the people officer. You're the leader. R, it's for that other thing. Be ridiculous. Be ridiculous in every meeting. And why yell? Yell. Now, here's a leadership challenge that I found works so great to motivate people. I know, again, it goes against the grain, but I say this. I say, hey, put up your hand in meetings. When you don't like what you hear, put that hand up and say, talk to the hand, because that is not great. It is not good. Be better. You can do this. Now, here's how you take action. I know it seems a little weird, but I really believe you can take action. Starts with your thumb up, right? Pretend that you're hearing everything everybody says. That was great. Now, inside, you know it wasn't. The most important thing that you have to do is tell people every day to think harder outside the box, because it works. It works, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Leaders, take note. This is HR telling you that you should fear her. And I'm really going to take that tip home with me, Kathy. I am going to buy a box. I could easily find one for free. I will buy a box, sit in it, and then sit outside it.
Sit outside it and see what insights pop up.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. So, everybody, I am so thankful that I'm not a judge, because I don't know what I would be doing here right now. But it's time for all of you to vote. So we saw 3 speakers today. We saw Sarah, then we saw Max, then we saw Kathy. So if you are watching this right now, go ahead. I need you to comment with who the winner is, and we are going to return in just one moment. So in the meantime, go ahead and watch this educational promotional video.
Hello?
Is this Mr. Sherber?
It sure is. What can I help you with, brother?
Hello. You were not expecting this call. Do you have 17 seconds to
Hang
learn
on a
about
second.
mercifully short?
Is this a cold call?
I don't know.
You. Never call this number again.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know what that was. That was supposed to play a video clip, but it just didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm just going to manually take the time to tally this up, because if you haven't noticed, there aren't any rules here. So let's see here. We've got... All right, I'm going to count up for Sarah first. So if you're putting in for Sarah, go ahead and jump in now. I've got 1, 2... Okay. 3. So I've got 3 for Sarah. Let's see here. Kathy has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 votes for Kathy. And who's voting for Max? So we got 5 votes for Kathy. Okay. All right, we've got another vote for Sarah. We're closing the voting in 10 seconds. Yeah, you know what? I should have a polling system. What I need is one more video screen that I need to juggle during this program. That would really help me out here. Okay, well, I've seen enough of the voting. The tallies are in. So let's go ahead here one more time. We are going to make way for our winner today. And our winner is Kathy Kloatz Guest. Kathy,
What?
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, this is the best ever. What a Friday. Oh my gosh.
Yes, you were wonderful. And as is tradition on this show, you are officially being crowned the smartest person in the world. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, that is an official title. If anybody ever disputes that, have them go ahead and give me a call.
I will. I'm going to tell my husband. I'm going to tell him at least 5 times a day. I'm the smartest person in the world. Everybody said so.
Yes, that is definitely true. So let's go ahead. Let's bring everybody back in here. Thanks again so much to all of our guests today. You were all wonderful. Sarah Brazier, Max Cohen, Kathy Kloatz Guest. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, everyone at home. Thanks for everybody who watched and commented and joined in today. And thank you to our wonderful sponsors today. Today's show was brought to you by Apollo, Flying Cat, and TLDV. So everybody have a wonderful Friday. And check out my live show next Thursday. Chris Sells His Soul returns. I'm sitting down with Chris Walker. Bye-bye,
you.
everybody.
You guys were fabulous. Everybody was so fabulous. Thank you.
Stay loud, stay persuasive.
Give your data.